right, here we are, our first Zoom session in Yoga Church. Super blessed to have Colby here with me as my model today. Very excited to bless up this space. So moving here to Whidbey Island, we are in Freeland on Whidbey Island. It's been such a gift. It's been such a blessing. It's been so nourishing and settling for my nervous system. And that's what I'd love to offer us today is a steady practice to ground us, to support us, to nourish us, to feel settled in our bodies, and perhaps even settled in our minds, even just for this hour and a half. If we can take that time to really dedicate to ourselves and to that nourishment and settling of our nervous system and bodies, it really does transfer throughout our day. It really does make that more accessible. So then, of course, we have to go on with our life. We don't stay in that state, and things come along and they shake us, they jar us, they might upset us, frustrate us, you know, all those things we might have to rush. But when we get into the practice of understanding how to settle our bodies and our minds, our recovery time is so much quicker. So even if we get caught off balance, we have a spurt of rage or outrage or disgust or any strong emotion that feels kind of out of alignment, we can easily draw ourselves back and notice it, think, oof, there's a deeper need here. What is my need? And often it's super simple. It's super simple, like, ooh, I need to drink some water. I need to eat something. I need to take a few moments to breathe. Maybe I could step outside. Things like that, like the simple things that we can incorporate into our daily lives allows us to be more present and less reactive. And I think, honestly, that's the goal of yoga. After 20 plus years practicing, 11 years teaching, I really have come to the truth for me personally that yoga is really more about noticing what arises versus never having strong feelings arise or reaching some form of enlightenment where now I don't get frustrated or mad. That's not it. It's noticing it and having the tools to ground ourselves so that we can show up better in conflict. We can show up better for ourselves, for each other, and for the earth, for the water, for the plants and the animals. It transfers to all of that. So here on Whidbey Island, we are on the land of the Tulalip tribe, Seattle, land of the Duwamish tribe, all Coast Salish people. And there's so much wisdom that we can glean from our First Nations people and their relationship with land as mother. Plants, mountains, father, brother, sister, cousin, relative. When we think of ourselves as not greater than land and water and plants and animals, we humble ourselves. We begin to tend to our impact. We begin to take pause to make sure our choices are in alignment with power, with all creatures, with all of nature, and with each other. And for a moment, let's allow our awareness to really land in our bodies, in our seat, that element of earth within us. Maybe you can bring to mind one of your favorite places in nature. And just the energy that you feel when you're present in that place. And can you imagine breathing in crisp, clean air, a gift from the trees, a gift from the plants in the ocean? And can you imagine exhaling that same gift, that generosity, back to the trees, back to the ocean life? And in this way, the simple act of breathing can be a gift, sacred reciprocity. I breathe in, a gift from the trees. I breathe out, a gift to the trees. I breathe in, I thrive. I breathe out, nature thrives. I breathe in, I thrive. I breathe out, all of the planet thrives. Our awareness here on the generosity of our breath. We'll allow our awareness to rise to the crown of our head. That crown energy, our inherent dignity, fundamental worthiness, sense of belonging. All racial identities, all sexual orientations, all gender identities, all bodies, shapes, sizes, mental and physical abilities, all cultures, all religions, all immigration status, all financial status, all of us across all lines of difference with the birthright to feel our inherent dignity, to take up our rightful place in this body exactly as she, he, they are. At this time, this potent time of transformation on this land, you belong here. Remembering the generosity of your breath, we'll sit for a few more moments, just noticing the quality, the texture, the temperature of your breath. Perhaps with your eyes closed or whatever feels safe for you. We'll bring our right hand up to our nose, thumb by the right nostril, ring finger by the left. Middle two can rest there on the third eye, the forehead. We'll gently close the right nostril and inhale through the left. Close the left side, exhale right. Inhale through the right. Close that side, exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. We'll continue this way, changing nostrils only on the exhale, staying for the inhale. Your arm gets tired, you can support your elbow with your left palm. Next, exhale through the left. We'll allow that to be the last one, and we'll sit with our palms on our lap, eyes soft or closed, just noticing if the pranayama had any effect on our nervous system, on our ability to sit, to be present. And I'll be quiet for about 5 minutes. We'll sit. Notice any changes in your breathing. Is there a pause between inhale and exhale? Notice if there's a pause between thoughts. Bring your palms slowly to your heart, bowing your head so slightly. Maybe you make a dedication for your practice, or maybe you make a dedication for your day. Maybe it's simply to notice the pauses between your thoughts, between situation and reaction. Just notice the pause. One Om together. All right, my dears, let's begin on our backs. Begin on our backs. Try to back, see if we can get a little more fully in the yeah. So on our backs, we will take a moment to draw the knees into the chest. And do a few knee circles one direction and a few knee circles the other direction. And then take a moment to twist to the right. Twist to the right. So if you want to have a block or a bolster between your knees, you can. And just notice how the left side of the low back feels this morning. And then bring your awareness up to the mid back. Notice if your shoulder easily goes to the floor. And if so, could you line your knees up? So that probably means the top knee needs to come out a little further. Hold the knee there. And then notice perhaps the left shoulder doesn't go all the way to the floor. Got 5 more breaths here. And then bring your knees back to center. Let it go. Slowly over to the left. And notice at first, does your right shoulder go straight to the floor? And if that's true, can you bring your knees so that they're more in alignment? That might mean that only your fingertips are to the floor, or maybe the back of the hand. Notice the right side of the low back. The mid back. Notice where you're tight. Notice where you feel open. One's not better than the other. Just being aware of what is true right now, just now. Not yesterday, not earlier this morning. And then another deep breath in and out. We'll come back to center. And here, we'll squeeze the bolster or a block or a blanket, whatever you got, pillow between the knees. We'll interlace our fingers behind our head. Inhale here. Draw head, neck, and shoulders up. Draw the belly in. Squeeze whatever's between your legs and pause. Keep breathing. Notice your breath is probably shallow. The belly is strong. Inhale, lengthen out so head comes halfway down. Knees stay bent, but they go away from you. Exhale, gather it all up. Keep breathing, keep squeezing. Inhale, head goes halfway down, legs go away from you. They stretch out. Exhale, gather it up. Pause, belly in. Inhale, lengthen it out. Legs go away from you. Exhale, gather it in. Belly in. One more, lengthen your legs away. They sort of straighten. Gather them in. Squeeze. Now, just bring your head to the ground. Keep squeezing your legs. Your head stays on the ground. Knees go slightly to the right, up toward your chest, and then away from you, still over at the right side. Draw the belly in, feel even the left obliques here. Come back to center, inhale. Knees go slightly to the left, squeeze. Draw the knees towards your chest, and then away from you, staying to the right. Feel that right oblique, staying to the left, excuse me. Inhale back to center. Knees go toward the right, squeeze. They go toward your chest, and then away from you. Inhale, center. Knees go toward the left. Squeeze the pillow toward your chest, and then away from you. Belly strong. Hard to talk and do this one, y'all. Inhale back to center. To the right. Up toward your chest, and away from you. Do you feel that? Yeah. Inhale back to center. Toward the left. Up toward your chest. And then when you go away from you, do you feel your right oblique? Yep, me too. Inhale, center. Let's keep it up. Woo. To the right, up towards your chest, away from you. Inhale, center. Toward the left, up towards your chest, and then away from you. One more each side. Center. To the right, up towards your chest, and away from you. Inhale, center. To the left, up towards your chest, and then away from you. And then come back to center and straighten your legs. So you still have something between your legs to squeeze, yeah? Really important. Inhale here. Curl head, neck, and shoulders up. Squeeze whatever is between your legs. Start to take your legs away from you. And back up. Woo. Exhale away from you. Inhale back up. Exhale away from you. Inhale back up. Exhale away from you. Inhale back up. Now, head goes down. Straight legs, if you can. If it's too much, you can bend your knees. Slightly to the right, up towards your chest, and then away from you. Inhale back to center. I feel this one, do you? Yeah. To the left, up toward your chest. And then here's where I really feel it away from you. Back to center, inhale. To the right. This is why he's the model and I'm not on camera doing this, because the faces I make up towards your chest. And then away from you. Inhale back to center. Toward the left, up toward your chest. And then away from you. And then, my friends, back to center. Happy baby, which should feel, hopefully, like a positive, right? Yeah. So, Colby and whoever else is watching, do you feel your hip flexors in that one? Yes. So I feel my hip flexors a lot. It's good to strengthen them. And we also want to feel our core. We want to train ourselves so we feel above the hip flexors, so the hip flexors don't take over, yeah? My hip flexors like to take over. So we're in happy baby. Yeah, so we're kind of taking the hip flexors out of it, yeah? We're gonna keep our legs, but interlace our fingers behind our head. We're gonna flex our feet, the toes point out to the side, so we look like a frog that fell over on its back, yeah? Inhale here, exhale, elbows and knees toward each other. Inhale, lengthen away, elbows and knees toward each other. Inhale, lengthen away, elbows and knees toward each other. Can you feel your belly a little bit more? We're gonna keep going because I can't say too much, I can't say everything, and do this. Oh dear, but I'm hoping that we get our hip flexors out of it a little more with our feet in this position. Does that feel true? Yes. Okay. So we're gonna do 10 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, hold, elbows toward knees, knees toward elbows toward knees, they're almost touching. And happy baby. Oh Lord, head down. And just notice, does happy baby feel somehow a little more accessible now? Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Mm-hmm. We're breathing, we're feeling, we're noticing. Core for me is incredibly settling to the nervous system. Maybe not while you're doing it, but it gets you in your body. You can't ignore your body. You can't dissociate as much. So it brings you right back to your center. That center, that core, is our relationship with power. Power dynamics, power over, power under, or power in alignment with our truth, ourselves, all of nature, and each other. Okay, up and over onto hands and knees, hands and knees. We'll inhale into our cow shape and exhale into cat. We'll stay for an inhale in cat and exhale back to cow. And that'll be the round for a few more breaths here. Taking an inhale in both postures helps us to feel where our breath moves. I'm going to do a little different type of sun salutation today, one of my absolute favorites. So Colby will probably have to watch me doing it because it's a little bit different. Untuck your toes, inhale, rise all the way up onto your knees, arms reach up overhead. On the exhale, bow, hands go way forward, forehead toward the earth. Inhale, shift your hips forward. Exhale, chaturanga on the knees. Inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, child's pose. Deep breath in. Long breath out. Inhale up onto the knees, arms reach up overhead. Exhale, prostration, so hands down, forehead down, hands are way forward, hips are not by the heels as much. Inhale, shift forward, chaturanga on your knees, all the way to the ground. Inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, child's pose. Now hips go toward the heels. Deep breath in, long breath out. Rise up onto the knees, inhale. Exhale, prostration, so hands reach forward. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, lower to the floor. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, child's pose. Deep breath in. Long breath out. Up onto your knees, inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, lower to the floor. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. 5 breaths. You might pedal, you might sway. Now, you can always incorporate that version. Otherwise, we'll walk or hop to the top of the mat. Halfway lift on our inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Rise up, inhale. Palms pass through the heart, mountain pose. So we're going to take a pause here. Notice, do you feel steady if your feet are together, heels apart? Or do you feel steady if your feet are at hip distance? You might try both and just see what works for your body. We're all so different. If you do have feet at hip distance, look at your feet, make sure you're not turning out. So heels might have to come out. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Step back, plank. Maybe placing your knees down, maybe not. Lower halfway down, chaturanga. Cobra or up dog. Downward facing dog. Breathe. Even here, notice, is it feel better for your big toes to be toward each other, heels a little apart, or feet at hip distance? Try both. Walk or hop to the top. Halfway lift, long spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up. Mountain pose. Arms reach up, inhale. Fold forward, exhale. Halfway lift, inhale. Plank. Knees might come down, they might stay up. Shift a little forward, chaturanga. Cobra or up dog. Downward facing dog. Breathe, notice your breath, notice the quality of your breath, and if it's changing at all. Walk or hop to the top. Halfway lift, inhale. Fold forward, exhale. Rise up, inhale. Mountain pose. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Plank. Knees might come down. Chaturanga. Cobra or up dog. Downward facing dog. Walk or hop to the top. Halfway lift, inhale. Fold forward. Rise up. Mountain pose. One more. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Long spine. Inhale. Chaturanga. Cobra or up dog. Down dog or child's pose, or sit back on your heels, whatever works for your body. 5 breaths. When you're ready, we're going to make our way back through down dog. If you're in child's pose, take a deep breath in. On the exhale, walk or hop to the top. Halfway lift, breathe in. Forward fold, breathe out. Rise all the way up, inhale. Mountain pose. Notice what the practice has done so far. We're going to start to do a mandala flow, so we're going to be spinning around our mat. This helps us to remain really present with what I'm saying. It's not rote, routine, common. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forward over your legs. Halfway lift, inhale. Step your right toes to the back of the mat. Dip your hips, lift your heart, breathe in. Straighten the leg, breathe out. Stay for it, inhale. Bend the knee. Make your way to the long edge of your mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Fold forward, exhale. Halfway lift, inhale. Spin to the right, frame the right foot, dip the hips, lift the heart, breathe in. Straighten the leg, breathe out. Stay for an inhale. Bend that right knee. Look forward, inhale. Step forward and fold. Rise up, inhale. Palms to the heart. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold forward over your legs. Halfway lift, inhale. Again, step the right foot to the back of the mat. Dip the hips, lift the heart, breathe in. Straighten the leg, breathe out. Stay for an inhale. Bend the knee. Make your way to the long edge of the mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Fold forward, exhale. Halfway lift, inhale. Spin to the right. Frame the right foot, dip the hips, lift the heart, breathe in. Straighten the leg, breathe out. Stay for an inhale. Bend the knee. Look forward, breathe in. Step forward and fold. Rise up, inhale. Palms to the heart. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift. Left toe step back, dip the hips, lift the heart, breathe in. Straighten the leg, breathe out. Stay for an inhale. Bend the knee. This time, reach your right arm to the sky. Low twist. Inhale here. Make your way to the long edge of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Spin to the left. Frame the left foot. Dip the hips. Lift the heart. Breathe in. Straighten the leg. Breathe out. Stay for your inhale. And bend the knee. Left arm up. Breathe in. Frame the front foot. Step forward and fold. Rise up, inhale. Mountain pose. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, long spine. Left toes step back. Dip the hips, lift the heart, breathe in. Straighten the leg, breathe out. Stay for an inhale. Bend the knee. Right arm up, big inhale. Make your way to the long edge of the mat. Halfway lift, breathe in. Fold forward, exhale. Halfway lift, inhale. Spin to the left, frame the left foot, dip the hips, lift the heart, breathe in. Straighten the leg, breathe out. Stay for the inhale. Bend the knee. Left arm up, deep breath in. Frame the front foot, step forward and fold. Rise all the way up. Palms to the heart. Chair pose, inhale. Fold forward, exhale. Halfway lift, inhale. Down dog your way, so you might go through chaturanga. Up dog, where you might hold plank. You might even cow cat. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Right leg lifts. Bend the knee, spin the hip open. 3 hip circles, one direction. 3 the other direction. Lift the leg up, inhale. Draw the knee in towards your belly, chest, or nose. Step the foot forward. Crescent lunge, rise up. Warrior two. Straighten the right leg. Triangle pose. Warrior two. Star pose. Bend your knees, goddess pose. Toes point out, knees point out. Deep breath in. Long breath out. Inhale, star. Warrior two toward the back of the mat. Straighten the left leg. Triangle. Deep breath in. Long breath out. Warrior two. Pivot the back toes, crescent lunge. Breathe in. Plank. Come onto your right side for side plank. So right knee could be down. You could lift your left leg up. Inhale here. Back to plank or hands and knees. Onto the left side, left hand, left knee perhaps. Right leg lifts. Take a deep breath in. Back to plank. Knees could come down. Chaturanga. Cobra or upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Same right leg lifts. Bend the knee, spin the hip open. Take a deep breath in here. Take the right knee towards your left arm. Towards your right arm. Back to the sky. Inhale here. Now towards your right arm. And your left arm. Back to the sky. Breathe in. Step that foot forward. Crescent lunge. Rise up, inhale. Warrior two. Straighten that right leg. Triangle pose. This time maybe your right hand goes to your own heart. Elbow is free. Left hand could remain at the hip or go up. Feel your core. Feel your feet. Feel your plate. Warrior two. Inhale, star. Bend your knees, goddess. Deep breath in. Long breath out. Inhale, star. Warrior two toward the front. Straighten that left leg. Triangle pose. Left hand to the heart, right hand could remain on the right hip or reach up. Feel your feet. Feel your core. Feel your relationship with place and with power in alignment with. Warrior two. Pivot your back toes. Crescent lunge. Breathe in. Plank. Onto your right side, side plank. Any leg variation, you could stagger your feet. You could stack your feet. The right knee could be down. The left leg could lift. Deep breath in. Back to plank. Left side, side plank. You could stagger your feet. You could stack your feet. You could drop the bottom knee. You could lift the top leg. Breathe in. Plank. Down dog your way. Left leg lifts. Bend the knee, spin the hip open. 3 hip circles, one direction. 3 the other. Lift the leg up. Draw the knee in toward your belly, chest, or nose. Step the foot forward now. Let's bring the back knee down. Low lunge. Come up onto that front thigh and draw the left outer hip down. Tuck your tail under. Send your hips very slightly forward. Keep tucking the tail and start to lift the heart. Take your hands to your ribs. Lift your outer ribs up. Feel the shoulder blades come into the body. Reach the arms up. Twist high, right arm in front. Place your right hand to your outer left thigh. Push the thigh into the hand. Reach behind you. Tuck your tail. Send your hips forward. You might stay here, a more therapeutic twist, especially if you have SI joint things like I do. Or you might bring your palms together. Take your right wrist, forearm, or elbow outside the left knee. Push the knee into the tricep or wherever you're touching. You might stay here or tuck your back toes under and lift the back knee up. Wherever your twist is, breathe. Feel your steadiness as much as possible. If the back knee is up, engage that right quad. Push through the heel. You might open your arms high to low. 2 more breaths wherever you are. I'm in that very first variation and it feels awesome. Frame your front foot. If the back knee is down like mine, lift it up. Straighten the left leg and flex the toes up toward the sky. Then that front knee, place your back heel down, warrior 2. Inhale, exalted warrior. Side angle, your right or your left elbow could rest right on the thigh. Right hand might be to your hip. Draw your hip back, open your left knee out. And then maybe reaching that right arm over your ear. Thumb turns up, palm would be facing behind you. You might stay there or move that left hand to a block or the floor. Spin the heart up. Breathe. Warrior 2. Inhale, star. Exhale, goddess. Inhale, star. Warrior two on the other side, facing the back of your mat. Inhale, exalted warrior. Exhale, side angle, right elbow might be on the right thigh. Left hand might be on the hip. Draw your hip back, shoulder back. Open your right knee out to the right. Left hand might reach overhead. Palm facing behind you, thumb up to the sky. You might keep your right hand where it is. You might reach it down toward the floor or a block. Keep opening the right knee, keep spinning the heart, and breathe. Cartwheel that left hand down, pivot your back toes. Place your left knee to the ground. Low lunge. Take your outer right hip down. Tuck your tail. Send your hips a little forward. Reach your arms up. Reach the ribs up, the heart up. And then twist with the left arm in front, where you might stay, or like me, I'll take my left hand to the outer right thigh. Push the thigh against the hand, reach behind you. Tuck your tail. Send your hips forward. Or you could bring your palms to your heart and then hook that left forearm or elbow outside the right knee. Push the knee against the arm. You might stay or tuck your back toes under. Lift the back knee up and strengthen that quad. You might stay or open your arms high to low. Wherever you are, breathe. All right, frame the front foot. If you're like me and you have your back knee down, lift it up. Straighten the front leg and flex the toes up toward the sky. Bend the knee, plank. Onto the left side, side plank, any variation. Back to plank. Onto the right side, side plank, any variation. Back to plank. Down dog, your way. Left leg lifts. Bend the knee, spin the hip open. Now take your left knee toward your right arm. Left arm, sky. Breathe in. Now towards your left arm. Right arm, sky. Step the foot forward, straight away, warrior two. Inhale, exalted warrior. Exhale, half moon. So maybe you have a block and it's to the outside, maybe even off your mat. So it's off to the left. Or maybe you suspend your hand. Warrior two. Inhale, star. Exhale, goddess. Inhale, star. Warrior two toward the front. Inhale, exalted. Half moon. So maybe you have a block or something to hold on to off to the right. Maybe you suspend your hand. Breathe. Warrior two. Inhale here. Plank. Left side, side plank. Any variation. Plank. Right side, side plank. Any variation. Plank. Down dog your way. Five breaths here. Walk or hop to the top. Halfway lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Chair pose. Arms open to either side. Right arm under. Right leg over, eagle pose. So maybe you have your foot just to the ground. Yeah, like a kickstand. Maybe you squeeze your thighs together and the toes are off the ground. Or maybe that foot sneaks all the way behind your calf. Whatever feels right to you, we're gonna keep the knees bent and keep the hips trying to move somewhat forward, yeah. And then elbows away from the chest and fingertips high. Let the breath come into the space behind your heart, the space behind your heart. Some say that's where the shadow of the heart chakra is, which is unresolved grief. So we don't have to try to psychologically fix anything. It's really just holding space for what is ever there. Coming out of eagle and into tree, so that right leg will lift up to tree. And the hands can do whatever they want. They might reach up. They might remain on your hips. Whatever works. Hunger only for a taste of justice. Hunger only for a world of truth, 'cause all that you have is your soul. Mountain pose, 5 breaths. Can you notice any sensation here? Physically, notice the pause. Yeah. Could there be a pause at the end of your exhale? Could there maybe even be a pause between your thoughts? Chair pose. Arms out to either side. Left arm under. Left leg over. And you might kickstand the foot, toes down. Or you might squeeze your thighs together. Or maybe even that left foot sneaks behind the right calf. Elbows away from the chest and fingertips high. Breathing behind the heart, all that space behind the heart. Hunger only for the truth is all that you have is your soul. Fly up and land in a tree, left foot tree. Hands could release from the eagle, be at your hips, or even up to the sky. Mountain pose, breathe, feel your feet, your connection to earth, your connection to your breath, and noticing pause. Chair pose. Right ankle, left knee, figure four. Place your hands on your thigh and start to squat. Notice that right hip. You might stay right there, that's plenty. Or you might hard flex that right foot. And come to that arm balance where your hands are down. Yep, and that, yep, just like that. You make a shelf with your triceps. Flex that foot, squeeze that foot into the arm. Lifting the left toes and maybe straightening the left leg. Oh my goodness, Cody. Take a deep breath in. And come out of the pose, coming all the way back up to stand. Release that right leg, mountain pose. Shoo! My goodness, what these bodies might do. It's a miracle. All right, chair pose. Figure four, left ankle, right knee. So squatting down with your hands on your thighs. That's plenty, y'all, because that is a left hip opener. Do you feel it? Mm-hmm. So you might build the shelf. This is called flying crow or galvanasana. And you have to hard flex that foot, squeeze the right tricep with your toes. Lean forward, lift the right leg. Yep, maybe straighten it. Nice shoulders. And then come back. That might be the hardest part, coming all the way up with that leg. So good, release. Let's take a deep breath in, long breath out, and notice the energy you just moved in your body. And notice maybe the pause from that kind of extreme movement to now stillness. Whether you went to the arm balance or stayed in that figure four squat, it's extreme. It's an extreme movement, extreme pose. Lot of the hips. So we take that pause to notice what even happened. Can I integrate? Can I integrate the small movements and the small movements and moments? And can I integrate the more extreme movements and moments? How does pause help us on our mat? How does pause help us off the mat? Arms reach up, breathe in. Fold forward over your legs. Halfway lift. Down dog, your way. Right leg lifts. Pigeon pose. Pigeon pose. So if pigeon is not kind to your body in any way, thread the needle on your back, figure 4. Yeah. Right ankle, left knee. So wherever you are, we're going to take about 10 breaths in the more forward folded version of pigeon or thread the needle on your back. Notice the pause. Maybe a pause after your exhale before the inhale begins. Notice any pause and thought. So my dears, the invitation is to switch sides in a sweet way without too much fuss. So whatever it feels in alignment to do to get to the other side. My dears, the next place you'll be invited to is onto your back. If you're already there, great. If you want to do anything with this left leg before you come over onto your back, great. If you can just roll over, great. Once you get to your back, draw your knees into your chest. Do a few knee circles one direction, and a few the other. We'll twist again to the right and just see how that feels, noticing any difference that might be there since the beginning of practice. Just noticing. Twisting to the left and noticing any subtle or not so subtle difference since the beginning of class. So when we get real present and we notice even the subtle differences in our breath, in our physical sensation, our thought patterns, we become more attuned to noticing the subtleties of our energy when we're off the mat. We begin to notice what works for us. Maybe it's a tiny shift in how we're breathing that can help how we communicate. Something so seemingly small can make such a big impact in our lives. Coming back to center, my dears. So for our final pose, I'm going to hand Colby some blocks for restorative fish. So the block goes on the lowest setting under the shoulder blades. It might be long, yep. But then the top block is on the, yep, just like that, the medium setting. So you want to make sure it's between the shoulder blades and not lower than. You have to scoot it up, yep. And then the head rests on the block. Does that feel okay? So this is a restorative back bend. And if you don't have blocks at home, that's okay. You could use pillows, even books, just so we can begin to feel, what would it feel like to really receive support? And what would it feel like to do a subtle back bend, a subtle heart opener, a supported heart opener? And what does that mean for you to offer your heart in a more subtle way or less extreme way? So that can speak volumes. So many of us kind of give a lot of ourselves. And we don't take time to really feel supported or to, God forbid, ask for support. Goodness. But when we open up to how supported we can feel by our community, by the land itself, by the water, the sweet support offered by the trees, every breath, so generous. It's generous, it's generosity that's just incredible. Walking through the woods here, Whidbey Island, South Whidbey State Park, that was the word that kept coming to me, that it's so generous. The land is so generous here. And it's not maybe as trampled by humans, right? There's just more of that sensation of the land being able to be in its fullness. And I think that we have such an opportunity through this strange time of COVID where we've been forced to slow down, forced to come inward, to notice how that can actually help nature thrive, and to actually notice how we have tools to help ourselves thrive. How we can receive support that maybe we didn't even know we needed. That emotional bolstering. So that when we do give our hearts, it's from a really full place. It's from a supported place. We don't feel burned out or overcommitted or resentful. We feel less expectations. Yeah? We feel full, fed by the generosity of the land, the water, plants, the animals. Our community, even in this virtual space, is super supportive. And if you have the deep privilege and gift of being around a pod, a community during this time, the deep support that that can lend. Notice the pauses here. The pause between breath. Maybe even a pause between thought. When you're ready, my dears, we'll roll off on one side. You might use your arm or a block there to have a pillow to transition. We're rounding the spine a little, so from this subtle back bend, we're going into kind of a subtle flexion of the spine. And then we'll come back to our seat. And as we sit up, we'll feel the earth beneath us, the sky above, and the generosity of our breath, the sacred reciprocity between us and the trees, the oceans, and really all of life. And bring our palms to our heart in gratitude for this practice of yoga, which has its roots both in Africa and Asia, and all the many teachers from India who brought this practice to the West, and all the different lineages, to become what it is here today for us. A practice to come back to center, to come back to self, to settle our bodies, to settle our minds, to hopefully create just a tiny bit more peace in our own nervous system so that we can be truer advocates of peace in the world. In that spirit of peace, we say Shanti, Shalom, Salam, Amani, Maluhia, Irini, Shiakan, Jam, Pache, Paz. In the spirit of our collective liberation, we say Aho, Ashe, Amin, Amen, blessed be, Kapu Aloha, in Lakach, Satnam, Namaste, Black Lives Matter.